What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Peter Parkour of the Distorted Theorists, and I am here today to talk to you about the amateur, something I know nothing about. But before I get into that, as always, a little bit of housekeeping. If you are new to the channel, make sure, if you want to keep seeing our stuff coming into your little notifications and your little news feed and whatnot, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you are returning to the channel, make sure to hit that share, like, and tell your friends to comment as well. You can comment, I suppose, if you want to, but if you've already commented before, you don't need to. So yeah, the amateur. What do I know about this? I know two things. I know it stars Rami Malek, and I know it takes place, well, I'm assuming it takes place in Washington. And the only reason I know that is because I've got it loaded up right here, and the first frame is the Washington Monument, and I believe the Lincoln Memorial. That's it. I just know that it has Rami Malek in it. Now, I'm a big fan of Mr. Malek simply because of Bohemian Rhapsody. I absolutely, that was the first film that I've seen in recent years. If you've watched any of my previous movie or any reviews where I talk about it's a movie or a piece of media that has actually engaged me well enough that I haven't looked at my phone. So my ADHD is actually completely engaged in what I'm watching. Bohemian Rhapsody was the first film that I'd seen in a very long time, besides something in the theater, that I wasn't. And I remember telling a ton of people about this. So his performance, obviously the music, and there was a bunch of other things that were going on in Bohemian Rhapsody that made me do it. But he was clearly the centerpiece of that film as Freddie Mercury. He's been in a ton of other things as well. He was in No Time to Die. He was in I, Robot, another show that I've got to add to my massive backlog. And he's just got this, the word I'm looking for isn't creepy, but it's the word I'm going to use. He's got a creepy way of acting. His is just the way that he embodies his roles and everything. Is there's something about him that's just it's off, but in a delightful way. I find that whenever I watch, even when he was doing, it was one of the Night at the Museum films. I've only ever seen the first one. I don't think he was in the first one. I think he was in the second or the third. And I see clips of it on social media. And it's engaging every time. Just watching, like, there's just something about him. And he won won the Oscar for whatever category he was in for Bohemian Rhapsody. Some people say that the other nominees got robbed or whatever. Listen, he did a great job. And the stuff that I've seen him in, which isn't much, I'm a huge fan of. So it's kind of interesting. And the reason I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, the reason that I'm doing the amateur is because this was recommended to me to watch by Justin. I don't even know if he knows what it's about. I'm assuming it has something to do with CIA, FBI, politics, something. If it's taking place in Washington, because that's the trope. If it takes place in Washington, it has to be dealing with the government. And I mean, I can keep talking about Rami Malek all I want, really and truly. I could devote hours to talking about different actors and actresses at this point. So there's really only one way to figure out what this show is about, and that's to watch the trailer. Duh, you've seen these videos before. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the amateur, which I believe is coming to... It's coming to some sort of streaming platform. I should have done my research. I think it's Paramount Plus. So that's enough to say. Let's just get into it. Yeah, see, Washington.
With all the stuff you dig up for them.
That's not my job.
No, but you never wonder?
No, it's the CIA.
See, it's the CIA. Yeah, I knew it had something to do with it.
Love you.
Love you.
Life is so happy for it. I certainly hope that nothing changes that.
Charlie, I think you need to see this.
Oh. That looked like Call of Duty.
What is this?
Uh-oh.
Your wife has been killed.
Well, that's unsettling.
What you do
Okay,
is
massive
very
soundproof
important to what we do.
room.
Let us handle this.
I want mission-specific training, cash, and a new identity.
Oh,
Have you lost your mind?
cool.
Find and kill the people who murdered my wife.
I don't think you could beat a 90-year-old nun in an arm wrestling match.
Okay,
I want to face my wife's killers.
I'm kind of...
Look them in the eyes and balance the scales.
Is that...
Take it. Take it.
Oh my God.
Do it.
Lawrence?
Put your finger on the trigger.
Okay.
You can't do what I do no matter how much I train you. You're just not a killer, Charlie.
You're just a nerdy fella that works on computers.
Oh my God, it's the Punisher.
What you doing? Just gonna kill you.
Okay, I'm into this. John
Do you ever
Wick,
account for the things I'm good
Taken.
at?
Is he the guy in the chair? Is he going to start
You held
doing
the
it?
gun to my wife's head. This is a remote that controls a device that's been decompressing the glass beneath you.
Oh,
You have the wrong
bit
person.
of
No.
bit of
You
Saw.
have exactly the right person.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to help you there. But oh, yeah, there it goes. Did you get him, April?
We got a ping in Rome.
He's in London.
He just got on a bus in Prague.
He practically invented half of our surveillance. Maybe y'all misjudge this individual.
Hey, Malik. Lawrence Fishburne.
This ends here.
John Bernthal.
You recognize her?
Hmm.
You jump really fast, you might survive the blast.
There you go. Okay, cool. Theaters. All right, cool. Theaters. Okay. All right. Let's unpack what we saw there. That is... So first things first. Something that I'm going to say is it's hard for... I've found lately that certain Hollywood tropes exist because we enjoy them. This is, again, it's following that trope of John Wick, like, you killed my wife, I'm coming after you. You took my daughter, I'm coming after you. I want to see your faces. I haven't seen nobody, but again, like, you brought me back. I'm just gonna mow everyone down. But in this instance, as opposed to Taken and John Wick and all that, this is very much like, I've got no training. I'm a CIA nerd. I'm an analyst. Like, yeah. But he wants to develop the skills to take care of the people that killed his wife. So I thought this was a series. I didn't realize that this was an actual movie. But I'm very intrigued by this. I really want to see this now because it takes that trope of which we're used to and just does a little twist. So again, what we saw, Rami Malek working for the CIA, his wife is involved in a terrorist attack, they get killed. So then he goes after everyone. The CIA is going to help him, or at least some people, and then they aren't because they're making fun of him because he's a little nerd. It doesn't seem like it's going to be as intense as John Wick or any of these other ones where they're like directed by people who have had stunt experience. Again, not sure of the people behind the production team. But it does seem like something that it's going to be a lot more intense because when you watch John Wick, Taken, and all these ones, you understand that the plot armor, like, these guys are going to get stabbed, they're going to get shot, they're going to pick themselves up and keep going. But in this one, he seems very vulnerable. And they even used the second part of this, which I've never understood, doesn't get picked up in any of these movies, is that he starts to get tracked himself. Oh, we picked him up. He's in Prague. Oh, he's in Munich or whatever they said, and they're developing him. But then he's able to use his skills as a former analyst and someone who developed surveillance systems to kind of disappear. So it's got that Winter Soldier, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy aspect meeting. I keep mentioning them. John Wick Light, Taken Light. Another one that comes to mind is, oh my God, Man on Fire with Denzel. where, you know, but again, he's somebody who has all the skills. Rami doesn't. So this is actually going to be really interesting. I'm kind of, I don't know if this is going to be a big hit in theaters, but it definitely has my attention for taking something that we're so used to and just twisting it a little bit to maintain and to pique interest. So yeah, so The Amateur coming to theaters in April. Very interested in that. I picked up my coffee and I made a motion like I was going to drink it, and I never did. So now my hand's just warm. So yeah, okay. I'm just going to repeat myself. The Amateur coming to theaters on April 11th of next year. Again, my mistake. I thought it was a series as opposed to a movie. It definitely has my attention. I'm hoping that this could be something that Justin and I go see if we're not starved for content at this point. But yeah, so wow, I don't know what you want from a reaction or anything like that. But yeah, that's what I'm going to use for that. Interesting movie. Can't wait to see it. This is definitely on my radar in some way, shape, or form. So before I send you guys away to determine how much you did or did not enjoy this video, the housekeeping that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be alerted to when the new content is on the way, because we are still on the way to 10,000 subscribers. And if you are returning to the channel, share, like, comment, tell me what you're interested in. What else did you enjoy Rami Malek in? What do you think this is going to go? And as always, we do our best to try and take suggestions from people as well. So if there's anything else you'd like me or Justin to react to, mention that in a comment and we'll do what we can to do that as well. So as always, thank you for stopping by and watching this video. I am Peter Parkour of the Distorted Theorists, and like we always say around here, keep it real.